Well, good morning. How are you all today? Welcome to Integrative Preparedness. I'm Steve Smith, and welcome to all the new people. We have just had a bunch of new folks joining us, both on the YouTube channel and the Patreon channel, and also over on the Rumble channel, the new Rumble channel that I've put up as a mirror site in case YouTube gets mad at me and starts to jack around with this stuff, because we have a lot of things going on in our world, don't we? And we have a lot of important things to say, and we don't want to let one place screw that up. So if you're not with us on Rumble over there, it's just a mirror site. I'll put it this way: there will be some things that I'll put over there that I don't put here, but I'll give you a heads up if I do, so you don't have to worry about checking everything. It's just, if this channel goes down, you're going to be able to go right over to the Rumble channel. So I would suggest you might go over there, go ahead and subscribe, so you get the notifications and such as that. One of my greatest pleasures every day is interacting with my readers of my books, and you all here on the channels. And the last few days have been so busy, I haven't been able to keep up with all the comments, as most of you know who have been with us for a while. I like to answer comments, at least, acknowledge that I got the comment. I read everything. I'll give it a heart if I, see it, to let you know that I have read it. I'll give it a thumbs up if I agree with it, or if it calls for that. If it's something kind of iffy in that, then, maybe I won't, and then if it calls for a response, and I usually like to respond to everybody, but I just haven't been able to, because with 6 channels and writing the book and other things going on, I just haven't had time. Well, anyway, this morning I got up and got at it kind of early, and I said, I'm going to go back through, I'm going to try to catch up on the comments, and I have. And I want to say something. I have said this before. I have claimed to have the smartest commenters in all of YouTube land, and I tell you what, the last few videos have proven that to be true beyond a doubt. For those of you who are new, make sure you go down and read the comments. You are going to find such wisdom, such thinking. It is truly amazing. I could almost use every comment as a jumping off point for another video, because you all are smart. So if you're new, please feel free to comment. Make sure you read them. You're going to learn a lot from our people down there, and you're going to find that there are other people out there in the world that feel like you do, and that's so important. But feel free to comment. Be advised, we are a place, we don't allow snottiness, snarkiness, bad language, calling people idiots. Please don't put links in them. Don't recommend other channels. It's not that I'm against other channels. It's just that I don't have time. You might be a channel that, for whatever reason, I don't agree that should be promoted, and there can be reasons for that. And also, well, I won't get into that. I'll save that for another time. So feel free to comment and be a part of it, and we'd love to have you. Also, for those of you who are not with us over on Patreon, I do want to encourage you, get over there. It's only $1 a month, and I put the link down below. If the comments on this channel are exceptional, the people over on the Patreon take it up several notches. And I put stuff on Patreon that I don't put on YouTube, because YouTube will not promote it. They will shadow ban it. And it is important things. For instance, yesterday I just put up one about how I carried undercover, how I concealed carry undercover. 3 guns, no holsters, how we did it for years, how it can be done. So I give you the real inside stuff, not the super tactical stuff that so many channels like to deal with, but the real stuff that can be helpful to you in challenging times, and challenging times are ahead of us, right? Okay. Going through the comments this morning, I came across a couple, actually, that I could have run off videos about. Got one from Damn Yankee 5, and hey, brother, even though you're a Yankee, we're brothers, right? I think he said he's a retired Marine or a former Marine, one or the other. He said in here that his son had come out of 15 years in the Army, a confirmed communist. Man, I tell you, that is something. But here's what he said, and I write these things down in my Stonemont notebook. This has been such a help. He says, "We have reached the point of no return nationally, morally, and philosophically. There is only one way out of this, and that's a hard reset." And I agree with that 100%. Tiaza also said something. She said she left a lengthier comment, but the phrase that jumped out at me was pray hard and prep strong. Exactly right on both of those. So I want to talk about that. Yeah, a hard reset. The things that we're seeing, the things that I've talked about the last few, about the very real possibility, in my opinion, of a revolution. Now, what kind that's going to be? Is it going to be a fragmentation? Is it going to be, what happens with this country is anybody's guess at this point. We do know it's going down into the ditch. It's been going down in the ditch for a long time, and it's picking up speed because of, number one, evil leadership, number two, weak citizens. Not all citizens are weak, those of us who keep our eye on things, but we just have too many little commie libtards in this country that don't feel the way we do. They don't understand the importance of how our country was founded, the importance of self-sufficiency. They find comfort in the hammock of socialism. They won't stand up, just like we've talked about, the military. I made one, was it yesterday, when I talked about there's the military against us. So many of you guys, of our people here who have served in the military, I can speak for law enforcement, and I can say that law enforcement is not what it used to be. It is not there to serve the public, and we actually were, believe it or not. When I went on, most of the guys out there were out there to do a good job. They were family guys. They wanted to support and protect their community, and it became a much different thing. And part of that is through the militarization of the police, a separation of the police from the community that they served. And I could go on and on about that, but I won't. But the military guys have come on and assured me that what I said about the military being separated from the people, and will they follow orders and turn on the American people? They have said, you are exactly right, Steve. And I get that, because it's not that I just pull this out of the thin air. I have so many good friends, who have done their time in the military, either long stretches or retired, and so I listen to them. I base my opinions on what they tell me, and some of the people that I know right now. So when we think about this, when we think about what's going to happen with this country, there have been a couple of things. Somebody else actually in the comments said, I encourage you to watch or to read George Washington's vision of the three perils. I had not read that for years, and I had forgotten about it, to be honest. I went back and I read it. If you're interested in that, it's interesting. It's not really a vision that he had. It's a work of fiction. You can find it on the web. But it's a story about how Washington saw three perils, and it came out, the trials that America goes through, and then finally it comes out okay. Okay. There is another view, and those who base their opinion on biblical warnings, and that is America the great Babylon? And I think America does fit into that, just for those of you who are curious. Yes, and I am very aware of the book of Revelation. Please don't put a million verses from Revelation on here. I am very familiar with Revelation, okay? I understand it as much, as much as anyone can, because I've studied it for many years. So I think that there is a good possibility when I read the description of Babylon in the Bible. Yeah, It comes out. I don't see how you can. I could make a case for Europe, but not as strong a case. Or I could make a case for China too. Okay, but I could not. I mean, in the future, but I could not make as good a case for either of those as I could for Babylon being America or America being Babylon. So we have those two different, opposing views. Is America going to go through its trials and come out again the other side like the phoenix, rising again from its ashes, or is it going to be Babylon and fall because this is a part of the biblical schedule? Now, I was searching for a word there. And those who, and I'll also interject in something here. Please, 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 please don't come out and say that, we should know, because the Bible is very clear on these are the end times. The Bible is not very clear that these are the end times. I had to remind somebody in a comment, the apostles themselves thought that the second coming was going to be within their lifetimes, and every generation since then has thought so. So this generation, being sure that Jesus' second coming is going to be soon here, is not unique. Every generation has thought that. And soon, yeah. I mean, we don't know what God's soon is. It's not necessarily our soon, right? Okay, his soon could be 1,000 years. So I would suggest you not, cling on to that and say, Jesus, I don't need to prep because you're coming back. Well, do what you want, but that's up to you. Which of those two scenarios is going to be the proper one? I mean, who knows? Who knows? We could come through this and come out well on the other side, but we're not going to do it except through hard times. On the other side, the whole thing could collapse, but we should be prepared to take care of ourselves during those times of troubles, okay? Tribulations, such as that. We should be ready to do that. Now, what Damn Yankee says, a hard reset. Yeah, there is going to have to be a hard reset, because the only way you save a patient with a cancer is to cut the cancer out. You either cut it out surgically or you kill it, chemically, or through radiation. Well, that's an interesting thought, isn't it? Through radiation. But you don't coexist with it, For the most part, what people are after when they're curing a disease is not to live with it chronically, right? And that's really what we've been dealing with here in America, in the United States, for 100 years. We have a chronic disease called liberalism. Well, not classical liberalism, but communism, okay? We have been dealing with a chronic disease that keeps spreading and spreading and spreading farther, deeper, and wider throughout our society. At what point the patient, gets to where it's beyond, how did he put it? We're the point of no return, yeah. Beyond the point of no return, is anybody's guess. At what point is the patient doomed? And up to that point, can it be saved? We don't know. When we're talking about this, our hope is that America could be saved, but I'll be honest with you, I don't think that it can, and I think many of you feel the same way. Go ahead and express your opinions down in the comments. But if we don't think it can be saved, then what are we working for, or what are we fighting for, as we talk about over on the American Reversion channel? That's another channel if you're not with me over there, and you want to talk more about the politics and the state of the nation and things like that. Go ahead and the link is down below. Come join us over there. We got a bunch of good folks over there too. And it also has its own Patreon affiliated channel on which I can put other things that I don't put on this channel or on that channel. Well, then why do we fight? We fight and we work so that something that is better than we have now will come out the other side. Now, could it be the entire nation? I have big doubts. I have my doubts, and I've had my doubts since about the 1990s when Clinton got in. I've had my doubts because I saw how society was sliding and falling. I saw and the increase of ignorance in our society. I saw the celebration of ignorance in our society. I saw the celebration of victimization. I saw that the self-perceived victims were starting to run our country. That's for the guy who's so soft that it just blows him away that I swallow loudly. Let me do it again for you, buddy, because you need to toughen up. There we go. You think you can survive the end of the world, but you can't stand me swallowing loud. So we work, and my opinion is that I believe that while the whole mess will fall, and will it shatter? Will we segment? Will we balkanize? Will we go through the velvet divorce, the great separation? I don't know. But I do know that there are a lot of people that feel like we do. And there are a lot of people that feel opposite that we do, and we cannot continue to coexist. Okay? I have no desire, and neither do you, to continue to live with a chronic disease that is infecting and has been affecting our country. I don't want to raise my kids in it. I don't want to live in it. And I want something better. Matter of fact, I didn't say, but this is a good time to put in. For those of you who have read the Stonemont series, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And for those of you who haven't, this and every one of my videos is brought to you by the Stonemont series, my series of books in which I write. It's 6 novels. So far, I'm working on number 7. And it's about how to totally prepare for, how to survive, and how to rebuild after a total collapse of the world, the country, whatever. And all of the lessons that I put in here, and it's about survival, it's about preparedness, it's about good people and bad people, it's about government, it's about our history, it's about comparative justice, it's about all those things. The good guys win, the good guys take out the bad guys, and they take care of them in ways that you will enjoy. People say it'll make you laugh, it'll make you cry, it'll make you think, it'll make you learn, it'll make you all those things. And people have been reading these and loving them around the world for years. Since 2017, I wrote the first one. And if you haven't read them, I'd suggest that you do. Not only will it be probably the best lesson and the best guide for your preparedness for whatever is coming down the road, but you will find in this series a world that you prefer to the world you live in now. And people that you like better than the ones you know now, probably. But it will. This series is about the hope I have for the world. It's not one of those downer series. Although bad things happen, we get into slavery and cannibalism and everything else, and the horrible things that can happen during a collapse. But I approach this. As I approach my life and as I think about what will happen with our country, I have no interest in riding this dog, down into the ditch of death. I have an interest in seeing what we can do to resist, to come back from, and to rebuild something better than what's going on now, and rebuilding the way it ought to be. So there's the commercial for that. If you haven't read them, you can get them on Amazon, either in paperback or Kindle, and the link is down below, or you can get them directly from me by going through our website, stonemont.us, stonemont.us, stonemont.us. It lets you order right online. And you can put in there, what you'd like me to sign in it for you. I'm happy to do that as long as you don't ask me to lie or say bad words. Or if you want to do it the old way, there's also a P.O. box down there that you can stick in your money, your check, your whatever. Send me a note. I love the notes. I keep every note that I've ever gotten. Every piece of mail that I've ever gotten from people, I keep it in a file. I read every one. I read a lot of them to Kelly. I love it. That's one of the things that I love so much, is having that relationship with my readers. So that's today's commercial for that Stonemont series. If you haven't read them, and you know what I love, because I'll get these order. Well, I'll say that for another time. But get them. You'll like them and you'll learn from them. It will help you prepare for whatever's coming down the road. Now, what's coming down the road, we don't know. But if we get back to Tazia's thought, she says, pray hard and prep strong. That's exactly right. You know, God does answer prayers, and He has redeemed fallen people. Okay, the entire Old Testament, what we call the Old Testament, is about a group of people, a nation, who kept turning away from God. He punished them because they had to be taught. They came back, they repented, okay, and then He forgave them and blessed them. And then what did they do? They did it again. They turned away from Him, okay. They went to other gods. They went to other ways. They accepted the ways of other people. And what happened? Well, they had to be corrected again. So He punished them again. And then what happened? They repented and they came back. And then He forgave them and then He blessed them. The whole Old Testament, that's what it is. I tell people in a nutshell, that's what it is. You see, it shows the forbearance, the love, and the mercy of God. It also shows the justice of God. But it shows that no people are beyond redemption if they will simply return to Him. So that's the pray hard. The second part of that is He expects us to do our part, to stand up against what's wrong, to stand up for what's right, and to understand that there will be times that are very hard to go through. There will be challenging times, and for that, we need to be prepared. Okay, that doesn't mean, and I know that occasionally we get somebody on here who's been misled to think that they don't have to do anything; they just have to say, "Save me, Jesus." Jesus saves you for eternity. He doesn't necessarily save you for the gang that's coming down the street and wants to steal your food and rape you and your dog. Okay, that's the wrong thing. Jesus Himself told His disciples to prepare. If you don't have a sword, sell your cloak and buy one. And also take your purse. And that's His admonition, to be financially solid, financially able to survive in the world. And I know that there's also many people in the preparedness world that don't do that. They aren't prepared. They don't see financial preparedness as important because they're way too into this stuff about the financial system collapsing and all the. Well, the financial system is collapsing. That doesn't mean that money is no good. It means that you need to increase how much money you make and use that money to prepare. Okay? Simple as that. I get into that more on the Prepping for Prosperity channel for any of you who are interested in that. So, we need to pray hard and prep strong. And what does that mean? That means keeping our eye on the ball, keeping our eye on what's going on in the world, understanding, the threats that are coming and being ready for them. Prepare to repel all borders, right? Prepare to withstand and then fight against those threats. Because if we simply play a defensive game, defense, there's this old saying, defense wins games. No, it doesn't. Defense keeps the other side from winning the game. Offense wins games. Okay? So we need to be able to be offensive, not as in rude offensive, but we need to be on offense as well, which means taking our message into the world, fighting back against these these communist threats that we have. And I talk more about that. I don't really talk about that here on this channel. This is more for the American Reversion channel. So anyway, yes, that's what we have. We have more challenges coming every day. It's nothing, and I caution people not to feel down about it. You know, I hear a lot of people, and I see channels. I don't watch them much anymore because they're just downers. Oh, it's all terrible. This is happening, and that's happening, and this is happening, and that's okay. Well, fine, it's happening. So what are you going to do about it? Okay, stop thinking about all the things that are happening, except as it enables you to make a plan on how to fight against it, and start thinking about how you are going to aggressively fight against it and build a better life for yourself. Again, that's why I put in this. This is about building. This isn't about dying. This is about building something better. And the time to start building something better is now, not waiting until the whole thing collapses, but building now so that you'll be ready for a collapse, and then we'll be able to come back out of it. And that's why we say we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. Okay? So anyway, that's what I wanted to share with you all today. Don't let this stuff get you down. Okay? I don't see everything that's going on in the world, and it doesn't depress me. It makes me mad. Okay? It makes you mad too. So don't get all depressed. Don't get down. Get mad and stand up. Do something. First off, prepare yourself to be able to withstand it. Secondly, get out there and fight against it. Okay? And in that vein, I'll ask you, please share this with other people. We need more and more and more people exposed to the way that we think, to what's going on in the world, to how we should prepare ourselves physically, mentally, and spiritually for it. And the more people that are out there prepared, the better position we're going to be in to survive it and rebuild out of it. So you all have a great day. Again, thank you all for all of the comments. Join us over on Patreon. If you're not, you will be glad you did. I assure you of that. And make sure that you check the community section over there. You're going to get a lot out of that also, not just the videos that I put out of the comments, the community section. And remember, the books are down there. The link's down there. You can get them through Amazon or through me, and I love hearing from you all. You all have a great day. I will repeat our tagline once more. We prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. So get busy. Make sure, be determined to live well tomorrow and do those things that will enable you to do so. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.